Hi there, this is Marcus from AndroidVisionary.com, and today I wanted to talk to you about the Sony Xperia Z and the Sony Xperia ZL. Now these are two phones that came out from Sony in the past couple of days. They were shown off at CES 2013, and I just wanted to discuss a little bit about the implications here in the American market for when we might see these products, see these phones, and what they are going to do for the Android ecosystem at large. So here are a couple predictions that I have in regards to the Sony Xperia Z and the Sony Xperia ZL. If you remember, Sony has a great history of build quality. Their Xperia line of phones has been pretty good, and they have used pretty good materials in the construction of them. The Sony Xperia Arc was one of the best designed phones for its time, in my opinion, and although it didn't come to the United States here in an official capacity, I heard it was all the rage at the time in the UK and in other parts of Europe. So I think that's a big strength that Sony has going for it, and what I wish they would do is leverage their huge manufacturing capabilities a little bit more to produce more phones for the US market. But they have said that they do not like a CDMA style of phone, so that counts out pretty much Verizon and Sprint as possible recipients of many devices. So my recent memory serves me correctly, the Sony Xperia Play was one of the only Verizon devices from Sony that I can remember in recent Android history. So I'm hoping that's going to change this year with the Xperia Z and ZL. Now, I'm not going to go over all the specifications of the Xperia Z and the Xperia ZL because probably if you're watching this video you already know what they are. But in any case, I want to talk a little bit about what I think the pricing will be. Now, off contract for the Z, which is the higher end of the two, this phone I think will cost about $600 off contract, maybe $650, and I think that the ZL will cost anywhere from $550 to about $600. Now this is an interesting arrangement that Sony has because the Z is supposed to be their top of the line phone, like way up here, but the ZL is really close to that. It's like almost not quite the top, but it's like right underneath, but it's still better than a mid-range device. So I think that's kind of interesting for coming from Sony, that they would have two pretty much high-end smartphones right near each other in terms of like quality and in terms of internals and whatnot. In fact, the lower ZL, the slightly lower ZL, has a bigger battery. It actually has a 2700 milliamp hour battery versus a 2330 milliamp hour battery in the Xperia Z. So I just think that I want to see more Sony phones coming into the United States, and I think they'll need carrier subsidies and carrier help to get that push going here. Last but not least, I want to talk a little bit about some of the phones that you don't see here, like the Sony Xperia SX. This has got to be one of my favorite exotic devices from Japan. It's on a telecom communications company called NTT Docomo, and I'm hoping to import it in the next couple of weeks or so to have a full review on it and how it would perform here if it were allowed on US networks. So I hope you'll stay tuned for that review. It's going to be coming up soon. Unfortunately, we don't see a lot of exotic phone reviews I find on the internet with American settings. And what I mean by that is importing a phone, bringing it over here, using it, and then seeing what it's like and reviewing it here. We see a lot of exotic phones reviewed in their native countries, but not here in America, and I think I want to try to do something that brings that to the table. Anyhow, I'd love to hear your comments about the Sony Xperia Z and ZL. Do you think that they will be offered on all four carriers? Leave me a comment down below, as always, and I'll see you in the next video. And remember, you're watching Android Visionary, and this has been Marcus, and